Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started here shortly. We'll wait maybe just 10 or 15 seconds for everyone to get in, and then we'll get started because we don't have a ton of time and want to make sure we have time for our presentation and questions. All right, well, let's jump into it. Hi, everyone. I hope you all are doing really well. My name is Elizabeth, and I am an admission representative at Ohio Wesleyan University. And today I'm going to be the facilitator for OWACAC, so I'm a volunteer for today. So I'm going to start off with just a couple of housekeeping notes, and then we will get into our presentation. So the first housekeeping note is if you'd like to ask questions, which we definitely encourage you to, you can use the Q&A feature on the bottom of the page. We have disabled the chat, so Q&A is going to be the main way you'll be able to communicate with us. We have turned your camera and microphone off. So again, Q&A is going to be that one line of communication, so I definitely encourage you to use that feature. If you're interested in signing up for more sessions, you can do that at owacac.org. And if you're not able to attend all of the sessions that you're interested in, we know, right now there's a lot of schoolwork, after school activities, a lot of things going on, so you may not be able to attend many sessions. If that's the case, I encourage you to look at the recordings, which should be up shortly. And those are also at owacac.org. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Sherman from Hiram.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for anyone who's here and available. I appreciate you joining us. I am going to share my screen here for a quick prezi as I speak. And we will get started. So once again, my name is Sherman Dean. I am Director of Admission. I've been here at Hiram for 17 years, but 25 years in the profession. Worked at Ohio Northern University. Also worked at Kent State down at the main campus. And then I've been here. So working with students to kind of help find the best fit. Few things I want to talk a little bit about. We'll jump right in about Hiram. Quick facts, we're founded in 1850. Small school, about 1,000 students undergraduate. Average class size about 13, which should actually shrink as you get further in your specific field of study. So very hands-on. I always tell students, if you're looking for a place to kind of hide in the back of the class, Hiram's not the right place for you. We're looking for students who are going to be actively and take an active approach to their education. We're located in Northeast Ohio, about 45 minutes southeast of Cleveland, about 45 minutes north of Akron, and about an hour and a half or so from Pittsburgh. So I like to say in the middle of everywhere. Sitting on about 110 acres, and when I swing back out, you'll get a chance to get a quick a drone view of the campus. But sitting on 110 acres main campus, but we also have a 550 acre biological field station about 3 miles away. We offer Bachelor of Arts degrees as well as a Bachelor of Science in Nursing with about 31 different majors you can choose from. Some of the interesting things about our campus, some of the classes are actually taught in some of the parlor areas of some of the historical houses. Here you see 3 of them. So we've got Bonnie Castle on the bottom left. That's home to our creative writing in English. We've got the writing house where right in the middle there where students can take their papers, to get them reviewed prior to handing them in. So first draft, second drafts, those types of things. And then we also have Pendleton House, which is the home for our history department. So you may sit around a fireplace drinking hot chocolate, having a discussion about the subject matter. So when I talk about small classes and interaction, that is incredibly important. Here you see Kortansky Hall. This is a little interesting because it is actually, or was actually, a church. We relocated it piece by piece from Mecca, Ohio. Why did we do this? Well, one of our presidents, who's also been the president of the United States, James A. Garfield, used to preach and speak at this church. So when they were looking to tear it down, we said, no, we'll take it. And we rebuilt it. So now it is the home for our political science department. As you can see there, we utilize the area for several things, some classrooms. We'd also do events and things like that there. So now with those traditional, older houses and things like that, we also have your traditional classrooms as well. This gives you just a quick view of some of those. We have the top left there, Gerstacker Hall, which is one of our sciences buildings, as well as Hinsdale is one of our buildings, probably our main classroom setting, where we have business psychology, those types of things. So a pretty interesting college campus here that we have. And there you can kind of see a quick drone view of the campus. So you can see we're definitely spread out. We got a lot of color, and it's definitely beautiful around fall when all the colors kick in. So couple things set us apart from other schools other than our size. The first thing we'll talk about is our academic calendar. It is a little different than most. We call it the Hiram Plan, but what it is two 15-week semesters, which is pretty typical. But we break that up into 12 weeks and 3 weeks. Your first 12 weeks, your traditional 3 or 4 classes, and then finals. Last 2 weeks, we have a lot of flexibility. So you can do something like take one class or one intensive class. Let's say you were anything like me and you weren't very strong in math. You could take one class, and that could be a math course during that 3 week session. Here we've seen some students that are taking some art classes or some things like that. We also have where you can do guided research, so you can work with some of our faculty. So most folks know as far as science is strong pre-professional programs, pre-med, pre-vet, pre-dentistry, those types of things. So we've got students that are doing biological research, chemistry research, genomics, but we also have some students that are doing research that has nothing to do with sciences. That young man at the bottom was doing some things that as research for his senior's thesis about baseball and how the ball has changed over the years and those types of things. You can also do a study abroad or study away. Now, obviously, COVID has kind of put a wrench in that to some extent, but historically, we've been all over the world, all over Asia, all over Europe, Trinidad and Tobago, Bhutan, Galapagos Islands. And what we do is we usually send a group of students, usually about 10 to 12 students, along with 2 or 3 of our faculty that'll take the group, teach our own courses in those areas, but kind of tie in the culture and the community of the area that we're visiting. And once again, we've been all over the world, and we'll help you set those types of things up. Scholarships are available. They are all for full credit, so your tuition and room and board and everything follows you. So only thing students pay for usually is airfare and pocket money, but once again, we do have scholarships available. I mean, then internships and shadowing, we want to make sure that you get a chance to get your hands dirty. We say learn the theory during that 12-week, put that theory to work during your 3 week session, So if you have an idea of what you want to do, we want to make sure you get that experience early in the process where you don't get to that first job and realize, this is not for me. So it feels a little uncomfortable. So we've been doing the Hiram Plan over 20 years. It started with a couple of our faculty members that went out to the community, went to some graduate schools and asked them what they were looking for students and new students, went to some prospective employers and asked them what they were looking for in new graduates. And they all pretty much said the same thing. They're looking for students who have completed a strong educational experience inside the classroom, but also a student that had some pretty significant experiences outside the classroom. So instead of waiting until junior and senior year to jam all those experiences in, we have built it into our curriculum. So twice a year during the 4 years you're here, you have an opportunity to do some type of experiential learning. Okay. So that is the Hiram Plan. Another thing that sets us apart from other schools a little bit is our technology. So we have a program that's called Tech and Trek. And basically what that is every student that joins us here at Hiram is given an Apple iPad Pro, keyboard, and an Apple Pencil, as well as a pair of Vast hiking boots. Okay, now we'll talk about the hiking boots in a minute, but let's focus on the technology. So we had one of our esteemed alumni have come back to us, Dean Scarborough, who's actually, the business school is named after at this point, but CEO of a Fortune 500 company, was very complimentary of the education he received here as an undergraduate. So when he retired, he came back and he and his wife wanted to make sure that no students were ever at a disadvantage as far as technology here on campus. So every student is on the same technology, on the same platform. Faculty and staff, we also got them, so all updates, any apps you need, will be updated for you, and it's yours to keep. So, it's the same across the board. So faculty are doing things in the classroom, like having instant quizzes. So let's say you're supposed to do some reading the night before. You come to class, a faculty member may shoot a quick quiz to you, and while you're filling that quiz out, you're seeing percentages up on the Apple TVs in the front of class. So we know if you got a high percentage that you did the reading and we can move forward. If not, maybe we need to stop and go over it. Okay. Students also get a chance to use the technology and do things like I've seen creative presentations for class, like using iMovie and GarageBand and things like that. So we know you know how to use the technology because you've grown up with it for the most part, using it on an entertainment basis, social media, TikTok, those types of things. We also want to make sure you know how to use it in a professional setting as well as an educational setting. Okay, so we would do everything we can to help you. Now, we call it mindful technology as well, because while we want you to be power users, we also want you to know when to put it down. Okay, so that's when the hiking boots come into effect. Okay, so once again, every student is given a pair of Vast hiking boots. So from time to time, our faculty members will say, you know what, when you come to class on Thursday, leave your technology in the room. We're going to have our class discussion out in the campus green in the middle of campus. Or we also have a 550-acre field station that I mentioned that's about 3 miles off campus, where we'll catch a quick shuttle van and they'll have discussions out there. So there's hiking, biking, there's research, there's classrooms, and those types of things. So main thing is we do not want you to lose what makes us human, and that is an appreciation for each other as well as appreciation for nature. With everything going on now, so many things going remote and virtual, it's really easy to kind of lose yourself in the technology. So once again, mindful technology is just a reminder that, you know what, sometimes it's good to unplug and actually talk to someone or actually take a walk and those type of things. Okay. All right. So that's the Tech and Track program. All right. Let's talk a little bit about another differentiator, and this is something that we just started. So last year, we took a look at our total cost of attendance, and we did a tuition rollback, about 35% for tuition and fees. And why we did that is we know there were a lot of students that do what we call kind of stealth research. So, you have access to pretty much any school's website. You can do a search for schools that have your major, that have what you're looking for outside of the classroom and things like that. And we never know that you've done that. But I know for certain that there are a lot of students who would have made a decision about a school that may have been important. It may have been a great fit for them based strictly on initial sticker prices. And what folks don't realize that very few students ever pay anywhere close to those initial sticker prices. So if you guys don't remember anything I say today, please, please, please do not make a decision about a school based strictly on an initial sticker price. Go through the process. Okay. That's what the financial aid offices, the scholarships and things are there for. So anyway, we rolled our tuition back. So this coming year for incoming freshmen, total cost of attendance will be about $35,500. Okay, now once again, that includes everything. So that's room and board, tuition, lab fees, everything like that. But it is also just an initial sticker price. So once again, go through the process. So the first part of that is we roll back tuition. True value adds, in my opinion, though, are the next two circles that you see here. The opportunity for you to take 2 free summer courses every year. Okay, so that means you can speed up your process. You can double major if you play a sport, or if you're interested in theater and you want to scale back during your performance or during your season, you can do that and then pick right back up. So it's really a lot of flexibility there. Historically, that can be anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. We've taken that out of the equation. Okay, and those classes will be kind of flexible as well. Some will be on campus, some will be totally remote, some will be a hybrid approach. So you'll work with your advisor to make sure and find out the ones that work best for you. But 2 free summer courses. Okay, and then the second or the last bullet that I'll talk about here is also the opportunity to get direct referrals to paid summer internships. Okay, so you've heard me talk about experiential learning and how that's a big part of what we do in the hiring plan and things like that. But not all of those opportunities pay. Okay, so we want to make sure that students get a chance to not only get some credit, but also double dip in some situations. So our alumni was very, very generous in giving back to this fund and sharing it with students. So once again, working with your advisor, let's say you find the greatest internship possible for you, either during a 3-week or during the summers, we can work with you to get a stipend if they are not paying and things like that. So anyway, that program is called Learn More, Earn More, Spend Less. It is our new tuition model, and we are really excited about that. Okay. Let's jump into some of the things. Now, we are a residential campus. Okay, so students are required to stay on campus at least to their junior year. Okay, over 85% of our students stay on campus all 4 years, and we have several different living opportunities. Here you see some of the different residence halls on campus. This starting this fall and most likely will be next year. All of the students have single rooms at no additional cost. Just make sure that we can spread out a little bit for COVID. But you can see most of them historically have been double occupancy, but we also have some suite style living. So East Hall there, the third from the left at the top. East Hall is actually suite style living. So there's large living area and kitchen along with different rooms off of those.
Sherman, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but your slideshow stopped moving. And I hear you describing these places, and I want to make sure our students can see them. We had a couple questions in the Q&A. So, okay. Oh, perfect. Now it just changed. I just wanted to make sure you could see. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, and I think I am having some problems with this. So I think I'm going to jump off of it really quickly. Hope you don't mind looking at my mug here, but that's several different opportunities that we have there. So we also have some townhouses as well, and the townhouses are more like a apartment style living, where students will cook for themselves, clean for themselves, and things like that. So we will work with you for students that want to stay on campus. You can have a car on campus, for $65 a year, have a parking permit. Usually why schools don't allow you to have cars is because they don't have space. Um, and so those are the types of things that we do there on campus. We are Division III athletically. So if any of you play any sport and want to continue, we play in the NCAC with other schools like Ohio Wesleyan, Denison, those types of schools. We do recruit, but we also have walk-ins. Now we're Division III, so we're not allowed to give out any athletic scholarships. So all of our scholarship is academic or merit-based. Let's talk quickly about the application process, and then I'll get to some of these questions. We are on rolling admission. We will process your application as soon as it is received. We do accept the Common App, but we also have our own application on our website. Okay, so we don't have a preference. Whichever one you want to use is the one we'll work with, is the one we'll accept. Okay, as soon as we receive your application and the transcripts, official transcripts from your high school, you're looking at about a 2.5 week turnaround to find out whether or not you've been admitted. We are test optional. Okay, so if you are not comfortable with your ACT or SAT, or if COVID prevented you from actually taking one, we will make our decisions holistically on whatever you bring to the table. So obviously, we're going to look at your high school, the types of classes you've taken, what you got in those classes, any leadership, community service, things like that. Okay. For financial aid, there is not another scholarship or not another application that you have to fill out to be qualified for our scholarships. We're going to go off of your application for admittance. We're going to look at what you brought to the table strictly the same way we looked at your application holistically. We'll do the same thing financial aid wise. So you'll get a letter from us that says, congratulations, you've been admitted to Hiram. And then pretty shortly, you'll also get another letter that says, congratulations, here is your initial scholarship. Those are yours to keep. They are renewable every year, which means once you get them, you keep them as long as you keep your grades up. For us, keeping your grades up is staying off of academic probation, having a positive movement towards graduation. Okay. We also can and will accept any additional scholarship or grant that you bring to the table. So if you haven't done so already, I urge everyone to do some homework on your own for outside scholarships and grants that you could take with you anywhere. Great thing about it is anything you find there, we'll simply add it on. Great places to start, fastweb.com and cottageboard.org are two that are that I've seen students receive scholarship from. I've seen outside scholarships for being left-handed, being over or under specific height, having a specific color hair, eyes, wearing duct tape to prom. There's a lot of money that goes unused every year, so do not sell yourself short. Apply for everything. Okay. We do also utilize the FAFSA form. So if your family hasn't filled that out or is planning to fill that out, just make sure you add Hiram to the list of recipients. And what we'll do is we'll start pulling those FAFSAs down for admitted students mid-November. About early December, mid to December, we'll start coming out with financial aid awards that would include all the scholarships, but also any of the things that we can offer you based on that FAFSA. And once again, that FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, federal form, which tells any school you're interested in exactly what your family can offer towards the education. Okay. All right. So I just kind of jumped through several things that I think really set us apart from other schools. I do not believe there's a such thing as a bad school, but they're bad fits. Okay. So it's important that you get on campus if possible, or at least do a virtual visit where any schools you're seriously considering. Allow us to share what makes us special, and then you've got to make the best decision for you. Okay. And now I'm going to jump into a couple questions here. Someone asked, do we have a 4-year nursing program? And yes, we do. We have a direct entry nursing program, and students actually jump into the clinicals as early as sophomore year. So that is one of the things that's also a differentiator major wise. We utilize the Cleveland Clinic, university hospitals, and nursing homes in the area for our students to get those experiences, to find out exactly what they want to do there. Okay, and we also have different pathways into that program for students who may not have done their best work at the high school level. All of that information is on our website. But yes, we do have a direct entry 4-year nursing program. Great question there. So let me see here. And yes, I apologize. I was having some problems with my slideshow. It kind of locked up on me. So I apologize there. But I do urge you to, if you get the chance to jump on our website, there is a virtual tour on campus that shows a lot more than even my slideshow was showing. Or like I said, we are accepting visits on campus at a small level, 3 a day. And so if that's something you'll be interested in doing, you want to look at that as soon as possible, because we will be breaking for the holidays here within the next couple of weeks for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and we will be returning in January. Okay. All right. So I'd like to open up once again for any additional questions that anyone has, anything I can help you folks out with today, even if it's not about hiring. Like I said, I've been doing this long enough to have some knowledge, but also some great friends at all of the great schools in the state of Ohio. So I think I might have gone too fast, huh? Let me see. What else can I talk about? If any of you are Eagle Scouts or Girl Scouts at the highest level, we do have some scholarship opportunities available. Once again, that's on our website, but we will work with you for that as well. We have an honors program for students that are interested in honors program. We have honors housing, things like that are a part of that, where there's a scholarship, a housing scholarship, so you can stay in the honors housing. There's a lot of programming. Students in the honors program get a chance to choose their courses first. You get a chance to do overloads without any additional cost for that. So if you want to go over most students will be between 16 and 18 credit hours. You've got students who can go all the way up to 20, 21 credit hours without any additional cost. So that's an option for students as well. Let's see, all of your major sports, your major college sports that you'll see, your football, your basketball for both men's and women's, volleyball for men and women. We just restarted our wrestling program, which will get started again here pretty soon. We had one previously that was very successful, but we had stopped it for many years. But that starts, and that is both men and women's wrestling. We have lacrosse as well, swimming and diving, cheer and stunt, soccer, softball, baseball. And those are some of the programs that we compete in. Interesting note, about half of our student body are intercollegiate student athletes. So there is a great relationship between athletics and academics here on campus. A faculty member will not hesitate to call a coach and say, hey, listen, I haven't seen this person in class in the last few days. So that's going to mean a lot more conditioning for you, but it's also going to mean you're not going to be able to play. Okay. But it also works the other way, because your faculty, your students and coaches are really going to know who you are, and they're going to know what classes you're taking. So you have a big exam coming up, they're going to say, okay, let's hit practice really quickly for, about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then you go back, shower, get something to eat, and go study. Okay. So it is really a great conducive relationship from athletics to academics. I did want to mention too that, when COVID struck, and a lot of us at schools had to really do a quick shift and go remote. And I think our Tech and Trek program was very instrumental in helping us do that pretty smoothly. Students already have the technology, so with just a couple tweaks, faculty could make some changes there and go strictly remote. And so it went pretty smooth, almost as smooth as you could hope it to be in a situation. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, so those are some things that I wanted to talk to you about. Let's see. Any additional questions for anyone here? No, making this very easy on me. All right, let me see here. Is there anything else? We will definitely work with families and students as you start trying to find the best fit for you, and financial wise. Each student will be given not only an advisor, to kind of help you through the planning process. So they'll sit down with you and build a roadmap, and that roadmap will be every course you need to take during the 4 years you're here to make sure you graduate 4 years and get where you want to be. So they'll ask you as a first year student, what do you think you want to be? Do you want to go to graduate school? Do you want to go directly into the workforce? And based on that, you'll know your entire 4 year schedule that first year. We understand changes occur. You don't have to actually declare your major until sophomore year, but I would definitely say, you will not fall through the cracks here. You will literally have to run away from faculty to fall through the cracks. They are very hands-on and definitely will be at your disposal while you're here. And I think that really works well, specifically as you get to looking at internships and shadowing opportunities, but also when it's time for that first job, you've got faculty who are going to know you personally and intimately and can speak to, how well you've done, not only in just one class, but maybe in a research project, or can speak to how well you've done in an actual work setting. And I think that carries a lot of weight. It also helps when students are trying to get into graduate school or medical school or wherever that may be. So, being known for our sciences has really helped us in students getting placement into medical schools. Last couple of years, we've had 90% of our students get their first choice medical school the first time and passing the MCAT. So we have a program that's called Biomedical Humanities. And basically what that is all of the sciences necessary to help you pass the MCAT, to help you get into medical school. But we also add communication and ethics. So we think that's incredibly important. And some of the things you'll learn at the graduate school level. So our students have done a great job at the graduate school level. So that's allowed us to be able to continue to send students. And, same thing with some of our other programs, how our students have done well when they've left here. And we've had businesses that come and do mock interviews and then some real interviews, and they kind of seek out our students. So once again, we're about 45 minutes from downtown Cleveland, so we do utilize the Cleveland area quite a bit, as well as Akron and Pennsylvania, Western PA, basically Pittsburgh, and a lot of the things that we do. We do have a pretty diverse student body as well. Now, majority of our students are from Northeast Ohio, Western PA, Southern Michigan, probably about 60%. But then we've got students from Florida, California, Texas, Arizona that are here on campus. So, pretty diverse where they're from. Also, overall, we're probably just under 30% underrepresented students, meaning African American, Latino, Native American students. So very, very diverse, and specifically for a school our size. Historically, along with Oberlin and a couple other great schools in the state of Ohio, some of the first to allow women and underrepresented students to get degrees. So that's a part of who we are, and the support is definitely here for students, to be successful, and we're very proud about that. So, all right. Any other questions for anyone? Let me see. I think we've got a couple students on the line here. If you want to put into the Q&A questions about your major, I may be able to answer some of those if you have specific major questions that I can answer for you. Would love to. I guess I can speak to the fact that we are definitely student-centered. And what I mean by that is, while we do have a small graduate program of interdisciplinary studies, our main focus are undergraduate students. All of our classes are taught by full professors. So there's no, teacher's assistants that teach all of the courses. Now, in some of the laboratories, some of our faculties will have some upper class students who have done well that kind of assist them in that, but you will know who your actual professor is. Right now, 98% have the highest degree possible in their specific field of study. And they continue to do research as well in their own time, but they also lead and kind of urge our students to lead the research that they do as well. So definitely a place where you're going to be learning from professionals. Once again, they're going to know who you are. Prior to COVID, it was nothing for our faculty to be in the same dining hall and those types of things to plop down right next to you and check on you, or how's everything going, above and beyond even their specific courses. Several different areas to eat on campus, including our main dining hall. We've got a bistro as well, which is a kind of a cook to order grill, things like that. All of that is within our total cost of attendance, so the room and board and everything is within that $35,500 that I mentioned prior. You'll just have an ID and you run that ID every time you go through. So it's buffet style, or you can eat, in the dining hall. You can come in, let's say you have an 8 o'clock class, you come in really quickly, grab some coffee or some hot chocolate. And then after your class, you can go back in and get some breakfast, or, it only closes for about 45 minutes in between times so that it can switch over from each specific meal. So from lunch, or from breakfast to lunch, from lunch to dinner, those types of things. The Kennedy Center is our main student center, where the bistro is. That is open until 11 p.m. We, once again, I mentioned now some of our almost half of our student body are student athletes. There's also the opportunity to make sure that they get a chance to eat. So the dining hall is open long enough after practices so that students can do that and join it. But once again, the bistro is also available for students. Got the bookstore on campus, which is also online as well. So if you ever wanted to grab a Terrier, a T-shirt, or something like that, you can do so. That is also on our website, hiram.edu. All of the information that I've shared this afternoon is there, as well as a list of all of our majors and a description of all of them as well. In case you are not quite sure what you want to do, the majority of our students start here. They may have an idea what you want to do, but undecided, no doubt, is the most popular major at most schools. And once again, you don't have to declare your major until sophomore year. So, all right, let me see here. Any other questions I can answer for anyone? You guys have made this very easy for me, and I guess I appreciate that. But still no other questions there. Okay, well, we'll just hang out and wait to see if any additional questions do present themselves. I want to say thank you for taking the time, and I hope to see you on campus sometime soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sherman. And as we're wrapping up, I'm also going to share my screen. And please, if you have questions, feel free to put them in there as we are wrapping up. Quickly share my screen here with just a couple of last minute reminders. So first of all, I'll reiterate, thank you so much for joining us today. I know that there's a lot going on right now, and so I really appreciate you all taking some time to hear from Hiram College. Once you close this window, you're going to have a quick survey that will pop up. If you could fill out that survey, it would be really helpful. OACAC is doing their best to make these sessions as useful and exciting as possible. So if you have thoughts on how we could do that, please include those in the survey. I also encourage you to, again, sign up for more sessions. I know we offer that in the beginning, but if you're interested in attending more colleges, there's still some that you can sign up for. And those recordings will be available shortly. So if you'd like to learn about some other colleges as well, feel free to find those recordings at oacac.org. Thank you so much to Sherman for being here and talking with us. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but I'm sure Sherman would agree that if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to him and his staff, and they will be happy to follow up with you. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Yes, thank you all.
Have a great rest of your day.